Hey, Superwoman. I am Kalua at Collusion Health and Harmony. I hope you're amazing today. I've been talking about unconditional love, and we're here in the month of February, which is, love, and we're skidding into Valentine's Day tomorrow. And I thought, what better time to talk about unconditional love and that, person that we've decided to partner up with to ride this crazy roller coaster of life with. And when you think about that person in your life, there's those days where it just swells your heart and you just get all gushy. And then there's the days that you just want to, we've all been there. We've all had those days. One of the things that, is so crucial to remember that when we've decided to partner up with someone for our lives, we are, by nature, we partner with one person, right? I mean, sometimes a couple, but by nature, we're with one partner, right? We don't have multiple partners, and we mate for life. And so that's kind of, that's a big deal. And that person over time becomes the closest to you. But at the same time, that person is the closest to you. And so you're the most vulnerable with them. And they are with you. So sometimes it's a little bit easier for our pride to get wounded a little bit quicker with each other, right? We can, sometimes lash out because, that person who we're so vulnerable with said this and it just made me feel like this. So, the viper tongue comes out and we go right back. And it's natural. We're human. We're imperfectly amazing, right? So, these things happen. But just remembering that, sometimes we might be a little overreactive because of that vulnerability. And that vulnerability, brings the ego. And then, the ego checks in. And, we have a tendency, when you're partnered up with one person all the time, there's going to be conflict. And, conflict is not a bad thing. Actually, growth comes from conflict. So it can be a good thing. But it's how you handle conflict. So name calling, obviously, that's not going to be a growth, any kind of growth happening there. But when you work together and can, move forward and grow together, that's growth from conflict. And, obviously one of the biggest ones is couples fighting over money. And if you are a couple that has never fought over money, I worship you, okay? Because I think everyone I've ever spoken to has said yes, that they have fought over money, if not at least once, many, many, many times. And, sometimes we get caught on our side, right? It's the you don't make enough, you spend too much, tastes great, less filling, we get caught in our argument and we just get stuck there and we dig our heels in and we won't budge and it becomes gridlock and nothing ever happens. There's no growth there, right? We're not working together. Obviously, we don't want to be in gridlock, but yet the ego kind of jumps in and says, well, you can't let go of your side. This is your team. It's the less filling team. Okay. But sometimes you have to set that ego aside and take a step back and put it on you. Stop looking at the other person to change, right? Because we can only change ourselves. We can't change anyone else. So not looking at the other person to change, but looking at yourself. How can I change this situation? What responsibility do I have in this situation? And sometimes that kind of stuff is a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow. But it's so good, not only for you and your growth, but also for the growth of your relationship and also the growth of your partner. Because guess what happens when you finally let go of the rope and the tug of war and start claiming some responsibility and just start showing up like, okay, how can I make this better? Your partner will follow suit also. It just sort of magically happens because now we're not in gridlock anymore. All of a sudden, things have uncongested and we're moving as a team again back to that growth. So remember, you're vulnerable with each other. It's a good thing, but it's so uncomfortable. We know that. But don't let that ego take over because of the vulnerability. Go back to you, the only person that you have total control of, right? And say, how can I make this better? How can I change things? Right? And see how things start to open up. Now, if you find yourself, we have seasons. We have good seasons. We have rough seasons. Everybody has seasons in their life. So if you're in one of those seasons where you guys are struggling like all the time and you feel like you're in constant conflict, there is no shame in going and just talking to somebody, getting some outside help. It's actually the best thing that you can do for not only yourself, but also the other person and also the rest of your family, because it's not good to be in that. It can be really toxic. And when your closest relationships are struggling, you are definitely struggling, my friend. Okay? Take it from me. Right? You need to be working on that and getting yourself to a happier place, to a better place of harmony, right? Collision, health, and harmony. Harmony is where you want to be. You want to find contentment with each other. So please, reach out to me, reach out to someone else. I would love to hear from you. And you have an amazing Valentine's Day. Mwah! Bye, Superwoman.